Well, since our last interview, the rapper Pop Smoke got killed in a home invasion.
I heard about that.
I talked to him 2 days before his murder. We were planning on doing an interview that next week. I congratulated him because he was starting to really buzz. He had been on a big album with Travis Scott, and he was on top of the world. And 4 guys ran up in his Airbnb, essentially in the Hollywood Hills. And I don't know whether it was a robbery. I don't know whether it was a hit or maybe a robbery that turned into a murder. But he's now dead. And LAPD hasn't said anything at all. And this is in 2020, Hollywood Hills. All those houses around there have cameras.
Yeah. Most Airbnbs have cameras as well.
Yeah, and I believe there was other people also, but people don't really want to cooperate with the police and so forth. And it's really fucked up. You know, for example, and this is a bit of a side note, I interviewed this guy named Fredo Bang. He's a rapper out of Baton Rouge. And in a very similar situation, his best friend, this guy named G Money, this rapper out of there, we were supposed to interview him as well. We'd already scheduled the interview in that case. A week before he got murdered. And Fredo Bang said that the guy that they're charging with the murder didn't do it. He knows he didn't do it. He's out on bond right now. And I said, would you, if they asked you to take the stand and testify on his behalf based on his innocence or whatever else, Fredo said, nah. He'll be all right. If his trial came up and they asked you to get on the stand and talk about him as a character witness or you as a character witness or nothing, no, you're not doing all that. You're not getting on the stand for nothing. Even to potentially keep an innocent man out of prison?
Nah, he gonna be good.
He gonna be all right?
Yeah.
And it's a very, very interesting. It's a very interesting mentality here that, like, because you don't want to be seen as a snitch or a cooperator or whatever else, you're not going to testify to potentially get someone out of doing
innocent off
life in prison because you have a career or you have a set of codes from that neighborhood or whatever else. It kind of shook me up a little bit. But
well, I mean, he'll probably have to tell who did it. You know, if he can say who didn't do it, then they want to know who did do it. So it could definitely open up a can of worms. But I mean, he could help the other guy's lawyer by giving the other guy's lawyer information that could prove that he wasn't there or that he wasn't the one, I guess. You know, it gets complicated when you get into those cases, how this case works and where this guy was and where they wasn't. But it's definitely in our community, those are definitely some standards that people still live by.
Yeah, you know, with Pop Smoke, we just do not know what happened right now. We simply, you know, he's been buried. He had a
it was almost big 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's a couple of months ago. He had a lavish, you know, procession in Brooklyn in his hometown with a horse-drawn carriage and everything. And people are really starting to just forget him at this point. And we don't know what happened, but the one thing, you know, like we always, I feel like whenever you have a tragedy of this caliber, you have to, for the people who go on living, you have to look at it and say, what can I learn from this? And one of the things that he did was he was flashing his address on social media. He had a bunch of clothes that he got and he was flashing his phone and you could clearly see the address. And then he was in front of his house and you could see the number in front of the house. And this is something that you've really been known for, is that no matter how many millions of dollars you were sitting on, you never had flashy cars, you never wore flashy clothes, you never wore jewelry, In fact, when I was talking to some people, like before our first interview, who had known about you, they said that they thought you were one of the smokers. Like you were that low key and blending in.
Well, you know, you don't want to create jealousy.
Yeah.
I mean, jealousy will make, you know, brothers kill brothers. I mean, we know that from the Bible, from Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel, yeah.
You know, one brother was jealous of the other brother, what he had, and the love that he was getting, you know, and that made him kill his own brother. So when you look at it, one of the first lessons is, you know, try not to make people jealous of you.
Yeah. I feel like whenever you show off, you will always take some caliber of loss in the process.
Yeah.
No one's really going to be that happy for you, unless it's someone who you're sharing that wealth with somehow. And even then,
they may wish that they was the one doing the sharing.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's always been one of my policies, is to let the homies do what I do. You know, try to make them the same person that I am, try to make my friends that same person. You know, let them be able to, when we go out, let them be able to pay for the meal sometimes. You know, let them be able to take you shopping. You know, let them be able to shine. Let them be the spotlight. You know, don't you always be, you know, if you always hogging the spotlight, you know, people gonna be like, oh, he think he, you know, even as great as Kobe Bryant was, and, you know, there was people who didn't like playing with Kobe. You know, they say he took all the shine. He wanted to shoot the ball every time. Michael Jordan the same way. You know, I forgot whose book I read, but they didn't like playing with Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, during the memorial, when Shaq was speaking, and he told the story. He was playing with Kobe, and Kobe, I guess, was hogging the ball or whatever. He goes, "Hey, Kobe, there's no I in team." And Kobe said, "There's an ME in team, though." And yeah, that was Kobe. Kobe, they call it the clutch gene, which Jordan, they feel, has as well. But what that basically means is that they were not going to share when it came down to it. They were going to hog the ball and win the game themselves.
And the spotlight.
And the spotlight. They were the ones that's going to be known as the people who do it.